What?
What?
What? What?
What?
I
What?
just read the wrong spelling. I was like, oh my god, grammar. But today we're talking about the tale of the sale of a property in Fairway Close, and we wanted to talk about streets that sometimes are not so popular with friends and family in the community that become popular, even like suburbs like Alexandria. Let's talk about it. Real estate today.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
How are you, Billy?
Wow. This morning has been chaos off
It's
air for everyone.
chaos. It's a
Chaos.
chaos morning. You know what? Someone said to me that it feels like this week's like a Friday all week long. I was like, I
Friday's
like that.
normally good though.
I like that. It
Um,
is, and that's what the whole week long feels like. It's just that beautiful time of the year.
it is good. It is good. But we're talking about potentially one of the greatest real estate stories. How what you were saying 20 years ago was one of the Northern Beach's more unpopular streets and a success story of today. How it's all changed.
Yeah, look, this is 11 at 14 Fairway Close, Manly Vale. We've just sold the property. The owners of the property bought upgraded to another two better into DY, but like a premium style two bedroom in the next price range up. In between that's around that sort of 125 mark. This unit hit the market at offers over 99.
Nine,
I
nine
think
to 950. 9 to 950.
nine to 950.
Yep.
And Fairway Close was interesting because I've been in real estate for 30 years, and I remember when I was listing stuff in Fairway Close 20 or 30 years ago, people were saying, yeah, look, no, not really into that street. Had a lot of units in it, not a lot of street parking. Other streets like Illakai in DY, other streets like Palomar Parade in Freshwater, least desirable streets, and people often think that they're not going to get that performance or that capital growth out of that location. Um, Even to suburbs, that sort of happens where people go, yeah, no, I don't really want Alexandria. I want this suburb. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's amazing to see these suburbs go from strength to strength. So, Billy, you sold the property. By the way, by the way, this was the biggest contract we have seen in the record of Novak history. The contract was as big as a microwave oven.
It was 1,670 pages. A normal contract, guys, is anywhere between 100 pages, somewhere in that ballpark. So it was
So
massive.
a normal contract's like that, and this
Yeah,
thing was as tall as a microwave oven in A4 sheets.
yeah. It was absolutely massive. And,
Now, who bought it? Who bought it?
funny for a little too better. First home buyers, local family from a little bit further up the beaches. They'd rented in Manly Vale before and wanted to return and make that their first home, which I think is a beautiful story. It was sold in 18 days on the market. There was 6 offers. The open homes, I'd never seen such a busy open home. On one Saturday alone, there was 24 groups through the property. That was the first open on the weekend when we launched. And then from there, that unraveled out, from interest in the low nines and ended up selling for 940,000. And we're going to show you what the property looked like so you can see
Do
here.
you know what I find interesting here, and I can't help but to feel um, uh, a little bit uncomfortable, but like for a first home buyer, and or for someone buying a two bedroom unit, you're spending $1 million. Your interest only sits at about 1,100, and your principal interest sits at around 1,500. You've got to be on two really good wages for something like this, Billy.
Yeah, I know that's the way it's going. And the people that are jumping in, seem to be in this case, commuting to the city. So they thought that beeline transport was important, but wanted the beach lifestyle. So I think everyone, that are entering the property market is confident in their jobs for sure.
So can you show us the block?
Yeah, that's the block.
Red bricker. Red bricker.
She's cute.
I love a red brick block.
That's the street parking that you were talking about just a second ago.
Yeah, a bit tough to get in there. Now,
And that's
why was the contract 1,700 pages? That's just, I'm still astonished even when I hear that.
so we don't see it very often, but sometimes you will hear of a contract with an annex at the back, and it's a long list of easements. Now, sometimes they're not related directly to the property, but they could be on the street. It could be for the building, and that was the case in this scenario. It was talking about all the services in the street, but it felt like it covered pretty much half of Manly Vale.
So it went from a 100-page contract to a 1,600 contract just because of the services in the street that didn't even directly relate to the everyday use of the property.
Kind of. Sounds a bit silly, but yes, in this case, it was too big to send via email. It was too big to sign electronically via DocuSign. That's the first we've ever had. And it was too big to compress the size of the file down, even to still send it, because otherwise it would just turn too blurry. So we had to get everyone into the office and meet up. It all happened about 9:30 at night, and then we went and put the sold sticker up at 10 o'clock p.m.
Such a great story. Such a great story. Hey, interesting enough as well, what did they buy it for? I love looking at what people bought it for and what they sold it for.
Yeah, I'll show you now. So I think this is a great story just because it's such a long time holding the property. That's where you make your money. But you can see here, sold for $940 on the 27th of November. But let's have a quick look here. This is RP data we're using, guys.
Up to the top and to the right.
There we go.
See, I find this really interesting. So, guys and girls, if you're out there going to be buying a property, say you're 30 years of age, by the time you get to 50, if we could just get rid of those names, Billy, if by the time we get to 50, you're going from how much?
355.
300. So you buy a property today. Now, I'll bet my house on this. In 20 years' time, it's gonna have that sort of incremental growth. Now, if you put that profit over, say that profit's $700,000, $600,000 profit, right? You put $600,000 over your original seed capital. This is how much capital growth the guys had, compounding every year. So 600, so over 300. So that's 200, isn't it? Yeah, 200% capital growth. So basically, these guys made $600,000 to $650,000 from their property, capital gains free, and they had a roof over their head. So if you're in doubt today, looking at buying a property, you think, how is this thing ever going to go up in price? Generally, it will double every 10 years. And I do have to say today, I am a big believer in strata. I think Torrens Title on the northern beaches and some parts of Sydney, most parts of Sydney, has underperformed. Torrens Title has overperformed, and strata title, i.e. units, have underperformed. If you look at DY, for instance, DY has gone up 70% only in 10 years. If you look at houses in our area, they've done 120 to 130, 40% in 10 years. They've done more than double. And I think COVID's been a bit of a result of that, and people going into share homes as a result of that. But it's interesting.
And I love I love how you mentioned DY or some of these other suburbs that are higher density than others, particularly along the beaches, because the trends all suggest the same. It's all relative what you put in and what you get out. You can ride that wave of a really good suburb. So don't be scared of buying something. We've talked about it before. Something with no balcony. Don't be worried about buying something with no garage. The car space is fine. Just get what you can, and if you're holding it for the long term, you can see it pays dividends.
It smashes it. So that's the tale of the sale of 11 at 14 Fairway Close in Mandeville. Congratulations on the sale, Billy.
Thank you, Mark. Beautiful, beautiful result for two lovely families, local families.
Crack up. Have a good day.
You too. See you guys.
There, bye.